Hello there, young lady.
You might need a mirror.
So we're going to be doing an oath of office. Judge Puffer will be here. Amy Meyer will notarize. Jamie?
I got her.
You got her? Oh, okay. You got all three?
Yep. Is that it? Okay.
Hello there, sir. Sorry.
Long time ago. You're liking it too much.
I know, is that right?
Drama in the politics. Yeah, good for you.
They are both on vacation this week, so.
I thought you didn't have one.
How's it going?
Good.
Good, that's fantastic.
Good.
Awesome. So, that's great.
Because I sent it.
Oh, my heck,
Rick. No, I'm the other one. Oh shoot. We gotta get this camera set up. The function.
It's supposed to be for
Yeah. You said it was so, well put. I just know I haven't seen it. I mean, I think I know what you're talking about, because I think I've seen it before, but I probably around me now, it's just a little bit.
yeah, exactly.
I don't think so much, yeah. It's just,
Yeah. Just
yeah. That's smart.
I'm sorry. I won't breathe on you. I forgot you.
Yeah, I no problem. You know, things like that, but other than that, you can't do
Yeah. Sure do.
You've been a simple man, I'm pretty confident.
Oh, really? When you go down the dark road, does it have?
Well, no, I guess it's 60 because Neil was reappointed.
So we need to.
So that, yeah, that is, so it's the same. It's good news. It's really good, so. Yeah, and that way you can identify gaps too. So.
Maybe. Told me I'm lost.
Yeah, they can.
We'll have one more too. Andrew. We're waiting on one more for a quorum, folks. And then we'll introduce the judge.
All right, Judge, how are you?
It's always a good thing to show up.
Always looking around for you.
Can't seem on bad
Water. Yeah, I brought water along.
There's like a meeting. Yeah. I haven't seen him in a minute. Who said that to you? Huh? No. Oh, he signed? Okay. Oh. Yeah, you are. It should be a minute. In a couple minutes, almost a year. You're still very lit. Very. Yeah. Oh yeah, you've had wedded experience. Yeah. Hopefully this time it's not bad. It's good. Yes.
No, I can't do that. Because
Yes.
a weird situation, right? We have 16 board members sitting here, but not a quorum. You can't do that without a quorum to convene a meeting. Oh, we should have it. Nina's gonna be here. Nina's gonna be here. And then Nina's gonna come in.
This up.
Yeah, they have just,
The thing is so cold. So it's brain freeze. There's a lottery.
they're probably having trouble getting in the meeting. Yeah, and,
One of them doesn't work. One of them doesn't work.
Sometimes if they're busy, then I change it.
different floors and you're training them all there.
I hope you just try it every time you come in, huh?
One didn't even recognize anybody was on it. And I said, okay, that's off. That's off. Because we were pushing buttons to go, and it's like, no, it was closed. We were like, oh, open it. We're done. Not that one.
I had to ride it a few times this morning. The elevator.
You had to?
Yeah, just, it didn't stop.
Oh.
It's like it's coming.
Okay, all right.
And we're to be honest.
You sent it to Ray-Ban. We're waiting for her to send it back. I think she
Evidently,
sent
there's
it back.
a accident on 75
So
that's
let's
backing traffic up.
pick that back up, because I need to start something. I need to pull my group together.
So,
Great.
I will check that in more detail.
Let's start over.
No, with her leaving.
Got it.
Switch over.
Got it, yeah, right.
Servers in place.
Oh, holy smokes. Okay, great, so you'll send it and let me know,
Okay, I'll let you know.
and I'll resend it. Because you may have saved it.
I mean, that's what I said, and maybe a chance of that I got it. And I want to say, I felt like we sent it by some time. And told them what we had.
I think that's where we're
I think that,
at.
I think it's, we sent
I
it to
think
Will
you're
and told
right.
them.
Sounds wonderful.
And now we can do it.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm not gonna call the meeting to order, but
Better than I deserve.
come to order, so.
Well, I'll try real hard.
It's very unusual for us not to have a quorum right at 4 o'clock, and apparently there's some problems with traffic and other issues going on. But we know that at least one more board member is on her way, and we will have a quorum. I'd like to get started, not with the meeting, but by having our several new board members here introduce themselves, tell us a little about themselves, just as an informal matter, so that we can all begin to learn who they are, and then we'll introduce ourselves as well. So,
My name is Abdul Malik Sada. I'm a psychiatrist and internist. I've been in Toledo for about 8 years.
can you speak up a little bit?
Sure. Yeah. Abdul Malik Sada is my name. I've been in Toledo since 2015, so it's about 9 years. I worked in different organizations in community mental health in hospitals, and I'm honored to be here with you today.
Welcome.
I'm Jeffrey Albright. I'm a LCDC 2, and I work as a group facilitator for group therapy and a PHP and ILP level of care in a substance use and mental health treatment facility. I am in recovery 13 years myself.
Congratulations.
Also run a small local community theater, heavily involved in the area in the theater. I sit on the board of Toledo Rep Theater as well. Grew up in Toledo Maumee area, spent 20 years in New York City, and moved back here in 2003.
Hi, I'm Adrienne Elhide, and I am a psychologist. Primarily work with children and families, and my whole career I've worked in the area of trauma, child abuse, trauma-informed care. I am on the advisory board of the Lucas County Trauma-Informed Care Coalition, also on the leadership of the Youth Advocacy Alliance, and so my passion is children and families. And I really do enjoy Toledo, although I am a transplant and have lived in a lot of different states in the United States. So.
Welcome. Nice to have all of you here. Major White, can you start just by introducing yourself?
Absolutely. I'm Tricia White. I am a major with Lucas County Sheriff's Office. I've been there for 31 years. I started off my career as a counselor. So I've had a little experience in dealing with mental health issues for a while.
Chief Probation Officer at Maumee Court. I'm glad to meet the three of you because I'll remember your names and phone numbers.
She's not
Anyway.
kidding. Yeah, she finds and uses resources better than anybody.
I've been at Maumee Court for a long time. I was there and then I left and then I came back. Prior to that, I used to work at the Ohio Attorney General's office. I had some election experience. I've been on the board. I was on the board 3 terms. And then I was off and I got reappointed to fill someone else's term. So it's nice to meet all of you.
Hello, I'm Andrea Mendoza-Locke. I've been on the board forever. I sincerely mean it. I was on the board when we hired Scott, so that's been a long time. My whole life is dedicated to improving mental health issues. I'm seriously committed. I'm a licensed counselor, licensed social worker, licensed chemical dependency counselor. I'm retired, but that's my passion.
Right on cue. That must have been okay.
My name is David Arnold. I'm a lawyer here in town with Robinson, Curfew, and O'Connell. I've been on the board for several years. I'm the chair of this committee, the Oversight Committee. Previously, I served on the boards at Rescue and at Neighborhood Properties. I've been really involved in the community mental health system in Toledo since I moved here in 1987. Is that it?
I'm Heather Carter. I work for Area Officer Agency of Community Meals over lots of years, 25 years. And I'm a community person. I have a company called Social Butterfly and I'm covering it. And I'm everywhere.
Yes, you are.
I'm Otis Gordon, and I am a retired minister. Well, not really retired, partially retired. And I'm on several boards throughout the city, and I've been on this board for 4 years, perhaps. And I'm currently serving as chair of the board.
I'm Katina Harding. I originally joined the board. I had a master's degree in social work and worked for about 15 years in the nonprofit sector with families with autism until I left and went back to school. I'm currently in second year law student at UT, so right now.
Hello, everybody. I'm Senator Rod Friedman, and I've been a mental health advocate, gosh, for years and years. I served on Harbor's board back in the day, Northwest Ohio Family Services Board. So I've been around for a while. I've been on this board since 2018. So I'm like one of the young ones, but now we have younger ones. So I feel kind of senior. and I'm very involved in the community. I serve on several boards throughout the community and committees as well.
Thank you to all of you.
You want to do a quick round of staff introductions?
Yeah, why don't we do the audience and the staff who are here? So that would help. I think sort of starting to put names and faces together. So, Michael, you want to start, and then we'll work around this way and then get the audience?
Okay. Hello, I'm Michael Carter. I'm the Director of Community Engagement and Equity.
I'm Susan Meyer. I'm an administrative assistant, and I've been here 17 years. And I'll be the one calling you on prior to meetings to remind you.
And she does a great job.
I'm Scott Silak, Executive Director. I've been here, it seems like 13 now. We're trying to figure out
recognize some of the new board members. We asked them to introduce themselves. We all introduce ourselves. So if you wouldn't mind doing that right now, and then we'll move on with the meeting now. Thank you.
My name is Nima Bell. By trade, I'm an attorney. I'm retired from Shoemaker Wilson Henry, and normally I'm this place. So my apologies to everyone.
All right. Call the meeting to order. Susie, the roll call, please.
Mr. Arnold?
I'm here.
Ms. Banks? Ms. Bell? Here. Ms. Carter? Here. Ms. Clark? Ms. Friedman?
Here.
Reverend Gordon? Ms. Harding? Here. Ms. Howe? Here. Ms. Mendoza-Locke? Here. Mr. O'Connor? Ms. Rodriguez? Major White? Here. Ms. White?
All right, thank you. We've already had the recognition of visitors. So at this point, I'd ask Judge Puffenberger to come forward and administer the oath of office. The floor is yours, Judge.
Where would you want this to be? Right here is fine. If we could get the four members to stand.
Scott tells us what we're gonna do as a group.
Yes.
The group wanna come up here in the corner?
Sure, absolutely.
The new members of each one, let's come down.
Stevie, you don't need to be. You're appointed by the city board. Oh, okay, you want to?
As a member of the Mental Health Recovery Services Board.
As a member of the Mental Health Recovery Services Board.
Lucas County.
Of Lucas County.
To the best of my ability.
To the best of my ability.
Thank you, Judge.
The next item on the agenda is the consideration of the minutes from the June 4th committee meeting. Everybody's had a chance to look at those. Is there a motion to approve them? Is there a second? Second. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries, minutes are approved. The next item is number 6, the system of care. Amy.
Hi everyone, I am on page 8 in the packet if you're following along.
Let's make sure everybody knows that there was a typo on the agenda for this. If you picked up a packet, it was fixed, but the original packet said Ohio Mass fiscal year 24. It should be 25. It's correct in your motion, but I think we might have mixed it up in other places too. So. Sorry.
That's okay. The Ohio Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services provides funding through what is called the System of Care, Treatment and Recovery Services for youth funds, and they are funds to serve youth and families in our community. For fiscal year 25, Ohio Mass has allocated $141,704 to Lucas County to fund this program. So then we contract with Task of Northwest Ohio to provide aftercare services for youth who are returning back to Lucas County from the Ohio Department of Youth Services facilities. So the funds are to provide in-range services for those youth while they are incarcerated, as well as providing treatment and case management services for them and their families once they return.
For the new board members, let me just take a second and explain. During committee meetings, we discuss, we go over things, and we vote on them by voice vote. At the meeting, the board meeting itself, the votes are roll call votes. So it takes a minute to remember that, sort of get it all sorted out. But as we go through our agenda today, we will have 2 or 3 of these motions that we will vote on as a group by voice vote. And what we're doing is not approving that motion formally, but recommending it to the board for formal adoption at our board meeting in a couple of weeks. So this committee then we vote on them, and then you'll see once to adopt them all, because we've already had this discussion. Okay, so that's our process in terms of voting. So we have a motion and a second to approve or to recommend the motion that's in the middle of page 8. Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Oh, I'm sorry, Linda.
Is this a new program that they have, or is this?
No, it's a program that's been around for many, many years, and we have contracted with TASC for the vast majority of those years. So we're the service. Yeah, no, that's okay.
All right, any other questions, discussions? All in favor say aye. Say no. Abstentions, I abstain. Thank you. All right, Michael, you've got the wellness grants?
Yes. In our last board meeting in June, we presented the motion so that it would be, this cycle, current cycle mini grants would be approved so that we could get the process going for July 1st through December 30th, so that we wouldn't be behind in having those funds go out. And so now we're coming back for your information to let you know about the winners and what the process was. We had
Michael, for the new board members, can you explain what a community wellness grant is?
Yes, sir. That's where I was kind of heading. Sorry. And so, no problem. You're right on. Our community wellness grants are grants that we provide to 10 organizations twice a year. So it becomes 20 organizations. The first cycle goes July 1st through December 31st. The second cycle goes January 1st until the end of our fiscal year at June 30th. Each grant traditionally is up to $5,000 for a total of $50,000 per cycle. But given our current allocation from the city of the ARPA funds for this quarter, we had 5 cycles that we were able to provide $15,000 additional to each mini grant winner, or now we call it community wellness grant, for a total of $20,000. So we have 10 organizations who are being awarded $20,000 per organization for their program that they put forward to us. And so out of that, we had roughly 52 applications come in for mini grants or for grants. 28 of those applications proceeded through to scoring. The rest were eliminated because they were either a duplicate, incomplete information, ineligible. One of the ways to become ineligible, and we see a lot of that now, is that you can't be certified by Ohio MHRSB, and several were. And so that caused them not to be eligible, because these are for grassroots organizations that make less than $750,000 annually in their gross revenue. So this is really for smaller organizations to have an opportunity to do great work in a community that aligns with our mission and vision as the Mental Health Board. These current 5 cycles that we're doing with the ARPA dollars also have the additional caveat that it is to include violence reduction. So it's not just mental health substance use disorder, but it's also to include violence reduction of some sort with some very targeted parameters that we were looking for in alignment with the city. And so 82% had never been funded by the Mental Health Board. So that was huge for us, that this time none of the winners have ever received funding from us as a grant recipient. So these are 10 new organizations to us. And like I said, 82% of them had applied, had never received funding before. 57 identified as minority-led organizations because we asked the question if they're minority-led. We also asked about EDGE. We've asked those questions to try to make sure that at least we're paying attention to who's applying as well. 39%, which I thought was significant, Senator, 39% was word of mouth. And I knew you would appreciate that, being in marketing, and 39% was word of mouth. And so that means a lot of the groundwork and the efforts we're doing in those community meetings and those groups such as IMA and UPSI are working, right? Because we're getting the word out to those organizations. And so from that, we were able to get some innovative programming, some new ideas, new approaches, like I said, new organizations. And so only on pages 9, 10, and 11, in 12, you can see just a brief synopsis of the executive summary for each one of those organizations and a blurb from their program objective that they intended. So we take that and we kind of try to massage it a little bit and put it together for you, so you're not reading 4, 5, 6 pages from each organization. We're trying to get it as close as we could to 1 or 2 paragraphs so that you would see the good work that they're doing. Thank you. If you have any questions, I'll answer.
Is there any questions for Michael?
No, but I'm really excited to see some of the programming, especially the look at violence and gun violence.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
For the new board members, we have a long-term strategic plan that has pretty specific community goals that we try to accomplish, we being the board, the staff mainly, not us. And this is one important way of carrying out that on a sort of a small scale, but in a way that spreads it throughout the community. But it's always tempered by and grounded in what we consider to be our priorities from the plan. So it's not just willy-nilly, oh, this is a good idea this year, or this is a good idea this 6 months, but we try, and I know the staff works hard at this, to fit it all together and make sense of it as part of our planning process. So it's intentional and thoughtful, and even though it's small scale, and even though not all of these organizations are going to survive or work, or but it's like seeding the plants out there and watching them grow. So anyway, that's sort of the thought process behind. We started out with mini grants, and now I think we're really focused more on intentionally making it part of our plan. So Scott, do you have any further on that?
No, I think that there's several boards around the state that started this mini grant process, and we waded into it as a way to build goodwill into the community as well. $5,000, you're not going to do a whole heck of a lot with $5,000 originally. That's from our perspective. But when you give it to a grassroots organization that might only have a budget of $100,000 and you're giving them $5,000 and giving it to them with very minimal strings, so that it isn't all eaten up by administration, that's 5% of their budget. And that means something to them. Plus, we get the goodwill of working with another community entity that is working in the community with specific target populations. And that has paid dividends across our entire investment portfolio, if you really want to, they're supportive of us, they show up. If we need advocacy, that group is oftentimes some of the loudest. If you look at the endorsements for our levy campaigns, that group showed up in force. We've created relationships that over time will far outstretch the investments that we're making in those organizations. And plus, they're doing good work. That's the important thing. And so we're just thrilled to be able to do that.
Thanks.
congratulations to the staff, because I know that it's really hard to narrow it down. It's hard. I've been in that position, and I know what your heartstrings, get pulled and making these decisions. But after reading through these, I was just like blown away, because I think collectively, we're gonna see some needles moving. So congratulations.
Okay, any other comments on that? Okay, and again, for new board members, I hate to keep talking, but let me just say that you've noticed these are public meetings. They're live streamed, they're open to the public. We have folks who come, and we end every one of our sessions with an open session at which anyone in the audience who wants to say something to the board can get up and say it. So we're at that point in our meeting, and we'll go to the open session, and we generally ask Richard to start us off.
Richard Arnold, I'm a mental health consumer, and I try to keep the board updated on what's going on at One Government Center. I'm a little frazzled because I just came from a hearing where the crowd turned into an angry mob. You'll probably see it on tonight's news. This was a joint committee meeting between the Lucas County, Fulton County, and Henry County commissioners. It was concerning the maintenance of Swan Creek, and it looks like a lot of people will get their taxes raised. Now, what happened was, they couldn't have screwed this up any worse if they tried. Gherkin's on vacation, so we only had 2 council members there. They had about 30 Boy Scouts in attendance. I guess they get a merit badge or something. And this was standing room only for a virtual meeting where they tried to maintain contact with the other commissioners, but the equipment was not working. It kept going in and out, and people could see that the person was speaking on the screen, but that they couldn't hear what they were saying. It ended with nobody giving testimony. Lisa Sobiecki and Alina Wilkes got into a big argument over this. It was not pleasant to watch, and it ended this way. Sobiecki was chairing the meeting. She got support from the other commissioners in the other counties to recess this until July 15th of next year. I've never seen anything quite like this. And it did not go over well. So she left, county engineer left, legal department left, everybody left except Anita Lopez, and she stayed after the meeting was recessed for an unofficial meeting. It was still going on at 3:30 when I left, and the people were screaming and yelling, and they were saying, "You're all criminals," and stuff like that. It didn't go over well. The news media was there, so you'll probably see it tonight. That was what was going on just as I left today. Tomorrow at 2, City Council has their agenda review. I don't know why, but they're going to amend Toledo Municipal Code, and they're going to reduce the number of board members on the Toledo-Lucas County Commission for Disabilities. Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know if it has anything to do with a quorum. I asked the county commissioners this morning. They didn't know. They appoint people to this, but they're going to reduce that number. Thursday at 2 p.m., Plan Commission is going to hear a very interesting hearing. This is a special use permit for a group home at 2024 Robinwood. This place has a checkered past. It has been operating illegally for years. There have been all kinds of code violations. Pulled this from my files. This is 31 years ago. It's dated December the 7th of 1993. State checks complaints at group home. There were a variety of problems. And among the complaints was they were serving green, moldy bread. And the people in the group home explained, well, the reason it's green is it's holiday bread and it was treated with green food coloring. I must say that's one of the more creative excuses I've heard. So this place has been operating legal for years. Now they have met with the Old West End Association. What the Old West End wants is for them to be capped at 10 members, but that's not legally possible. With the special use permit, they can go up to 16. There's nothing you can do about it. It's illegal for them to trade it. So they've kind of given their blessing to it. The staff recommendation is let's go ahead and do it and keep close eye on it. But at 2 o'clock, they'll have their hearing at Plan Commission, and then it'll go to the City Council. I don't know if anybody will show up to oppose it. They will be able to take 16 residents at 2024 Robinwood, and hopefully everything will work. I hope they get it, and I hope they run the place properly, because we certainly need the best. And indulge me just for a minute, this Saturday is the 25th anniversary of something that should not be forgotten. It was a terrible tragedy. It was the shooting of John Napier. Briefly, he was a 32-year-old man. He has 2 children. He was living in Monclova Township. He was suicidal and picked up without incident by Lucas County Sheriff's Department and transported to rescue. at rescue, he became agitated. They said, let's call the police, let's have him transferred to Flower Hospital. Apparently, they didn't give the police much to go on. He was not handcuffed, and this was the kind of a cruiser that does have a window between the back seat and the front seat. Reached into the front seat and grabbed one of the officer's guns, pulled it out. It actually went off and fired through the bottom of the cruiser. The other officer shot him to death. There was and then the finger pointing started. Everybody said, oh, you should have done this, you should have done that. This was the incident that led to CIT training. I forget who it was. I know Marcy Dvorak at Army was an instrumental back then. I think he actually had some city council members. They went down to Memphis and they looked at their CIT program. For anyone who doesn't know, that's crisis intervention training. And it was established here in 2001, and it operates very well. It mended a lot of fences, because I can tell you the people who paid the biggest price for this were the clients of rescue, because the cops really overreacted, and they were bringing in frail elderly women in handcuffs. It was just bad for a very long time. But CIT certainly went a long way to mend fences. It still exists today. It's well recognized and well thought of. This board has a great relationship with law enforcement, but never take that for granted. And I want to remind you, you did trim their budget by $5,000 earlier this year. CIT saves lives. I think it's one of the most important things that this board does. So I encourage you to keep supporting that program. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Richard. Anyone else in the audience wish to speak?
Yeah, on Saturday, September 14th, we will be hosting our Recovery is Beautiful event. This is for people in the community who are receiving services. And it's not a health fair, it's a celebration. It's going to be at the Warner Center from 11 to 2 p.m. And everybody's invited. You can invite everybody, your family, everything. We're there to celebrate people in recovery. See you there.
Robert, we have a few other things going on too, don't we?
Yes, we do. Well, that was the main one. Yeah. We have some other events that are going on in the community, which include, we're going to participate in the African American Walk, which is on the 14th, 17th of this month. Yes, we do.
Pride.
And we're also, thank you very much. We are going to participate in the Pride Parade, which is really a lot of fun. If you are interested in participating with us, if you want to walk with us in the parade, there's a few thousand people there. It's going to be a lot of fun. So come on out. We're going to meet at the Warner Center on, I believe it's August 24th. And then we're also going to participate in the Chocolate Walk, which is on the 18th, right over here, probably, right over here.
What's Chocolate Walk?
It's with the, we have a coalition for opiates, and it's to raise awareness and just about opiate abuse and people who overdose on it, and it's for families to come together, and it's a way to recognize people we've lost.
Thank you. All right, we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. If I could have a word with the new board members. Thank you.